All right, welcome back, crime fighters. It's time for another edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the program where you get to help make Calhoun County a better and safer place by helping us lock up the bad guys. I'm Chris Wright, along with John Garlick from the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. John, good to see you.
Good to see you, Chris. I'm really glad you made it back.
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to be here today. I'm supposed to be
weren't.
lounging. Actually, I'm supposed to be taking a tour of Florida State University with my oldest. We went down and had a little beach time in Panama City, and then we were going to, but they're closing down the university because of Hurricane Michael, and we got evacuated. For the first time ever, my phone goes off with a hurricane warning for where I was.
So you got blown away in Panama City. Way to go.
So, but there are some people that were going to try to ride the storm out, and I'm definitely not going to be one of those people, because not only are you putting yourself and your family at risk, but you're causing the first responders and other people to put themselves in harm's way.
That's right. I mean, we have to respond. Now, of course, that's the beach. It's a long way from here, but we're starting to see some weather. These clouds we're experiencing, this show's taping on Tuesday, but the clouds that we're seeing here earlier in this week are related here because of that storm. They're not necessarily a part of it, but they're being drawn in by that pressure.
Yep.
So we're going to get some weather from this hurricane, probably rain, right? Mm-hmm. So rain and wind.
We'll talk about that during the forecast.
That's your forecast.
We're not giving anything away on the weather here on the show. You got to watch TV 24 Primetime News to get the forecast.
Or the Weather Channel, or NOAA.gov.
Jim Cantori was on his way into the beach as I was on my way out. I'm not going to do my Jim Cantori impression.
You really should have done a remote from down there.
I did actually, but I did it while it was still safe to be there.
Oh, you should have stayed there and done it live. I'll go down. TV 24 can send me down there. I'll do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, let's look at what our other folks have done here.
We got a couple of arrests this week, don't we?
We did. 2 arrests. Our count's up to 4,273 pre-hurricane, and so we're very grateful for the folks for calling that in.
Mm-hmm. All right, and we've got more people that we need your help finding, and we'll take a look at them next on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
And welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up in our lineup this week, Jeremy Sprayberry. Mr. Sprayberry, last known to be living in Alexandria, he's wanted for failure to pay on obstruction of governmental operation. And take a look at Clarence Watts. Mr. Watts, last known to be living in Piedmont, he's wanted for failure to appear on possession of a controlled substance, use and possession of drug paraphernalia, and theft of property first. And this is John Stone. Mr. Stone, last known to be living in Sylacauga, he's wanted for failure to pay on theft of property third. And we'd like you to meet Terry Proctor. Terry Proctor, last known to be living in Piedmont, he's wanted for reckless endangerment and criminal mischief first. Take a look at Dina Simpson. Miss Simpson, last known to be living in Anniston, she's wanted for failure to appear on criminal trespass third. And here is Anthony Woods. Mr. Woods, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for possession of marijuana first and use and possession of drug paraphernalia. And last up for the first half of our lineup, Melvin Brasher. Mr. Brasher, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted on a bond revocation for manufacture of a controlled substance. And that's it for the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second half later in the show.
All right, we are back. We'll have some more bad guys for you here in just a few minutes. But right now, John, we need to talk about an upcoming event that hopefully could be of a lot of purpose to some young ladies.
Good segue. We do have an event coming up, Women with a Purpose.
Yes.
Got Crystal and Regina here with us, so tell us about it.
Well, thank you, Kristen and John, for having us here today. We're with Women with a Purpose of Anniston. We have our event, our first what we call Light Summit, on October the 20th at the Oxford Civic Center between 10 and 2. This is something that we decided to do today to try to make more awareness for young ladies. But anyway, we're having it. It's called Keeping the Lights On for Our Young Girls. So everyone is invited. It's free admission. All we ask is you go to our website, and the website is womenwithapurpose.me, and register. So again, doesn't cost anything. Just come out, join us. We're going to have Mr. Garlick has agreed to come out and talk about cyberbullying. Also, we have Pat.
You're not teaching us how to cyberbully, are you?
Well, I'm using you as an example
Okay.
of how to cyberbully and how to get caught.
Okay. I'm sorry, you were telling us about another guest, Pat?
Yes, we're going to
Yes,
have Pat McKay. Her name is Pat McKay. She's kind of North Alabama sex trafficking and task force. She's coming in. She's going to talk about sex trafficking as well.
Now, from what I understand, I'm learning that sex trafficking in Alabama is a bigger issue than I ever thought it was.
Yes, it is.
I've got a friend up in Huntsville who's dedicating a lot of time just volunteering, working with a sex trafficking, not a sex trafficking organization, an organization that helps to fight that. And I had no idea it's as bad as it is.
Yes, and people don't realize how serious it is in our area, and we want to bring more awareness to people, and especially young girls, how they can get caught up in the sex trafficking ring. So we just want to bring awareness to not only the young girls, but parents, and be able to educate them and what to look for if you come in contact with someone that's involved in it, how to be able to help them and let them know there are resources out there to be able to help them as well.
It's a frightening thing, and it's the I-20 corridor. Is drugs and sex trafficking, and
Yeah.
you know they'll prey on teenage girls, and they'll groom them, and so you really as a teenage girl you may not even be able to trust your friends because they may have been groomed to groom others, and it's insidious and it's evil, and
It's impossible for a lot of us to really grasp the mindset. But we have to acknowledge that it exists, and it exists in our community, and be prepared for it. So, Regina, who are we hoping will attend this event?
We hope that anyone that has family or friends that could be affected by any of these issues will attend. Maybe they're questioning how to help these people, and they don't know where to go for answers. If someone is experiencing it themselves, we hope they'll come and get these answers to help themselves or their loved ones.
Or just to be aware of the
That's
problems
right.
that they may not realize their daughters or whoever faces.
right, it's scary. So yeah, definitely come and learn and
Well,
interact with people that can help.
and I think it's important too, sometimes when if someone young is in a situation, they may not realize it until it's too late. So if we can shed some light on these are red flags before it becomes too late, that's very important.
Well, that's typically the case because I've talked to a few women who, when they were younger, were trafficked, and you know they'll tell you that no young girl grows up and wants to be a prostitute. That's not what they aspire to be. So these are traps, and it's a slippery slope.
What are you mentioned red flags? I know you can't get into it here on the show the same way we will in the program, but what are some of those red flags we need to look out for?
Well, you kind of think about, it's behind the keyboard, it's very easy to trust, right? Somebody may tell you one thing or another and you trust that. They tend to feed on not just young people, but anyone who they see there's something lacking, like boosting their confidence. They're telling them they're beautiful, or whatever they might need to hear, they fulfill that. And, you know, it's hard to explain to somebody you're getting all you need through that keyboard, but slow down and question things. If they're offering you a contract out in California to get, you know, to be a model, slow down, you know, question things. So I think it's important that if it is too good to be true.
And if you can't tell somebody else about that conversation,
That's trouble.
that should be the biggest red flag of all, shouldn't it, John?
Oh yeah,
That's right.
it's
That's
scary
true.
if you don't feel like it's something up and up and you're not going to tell your parents about it.
That's
Right.
But they're even more dangerous than that. I've heard lots of stories of even mothers and daughters being roped into this modeling scam, and
Right.
they'll say, hey, we're going to fly you out to California, we're going to put you up in a nice house, and we're going to build your portfolio. And when you arrive at the house, the biggest red flag is, give me your passport, give me your driver's license. We'll keep it in storage here because
Right.
we're going to book you some flights to some really cool places. And once they have that, you can't get out. And then they
right.
just gradually do stuff with you that you get embarrassed about and you can't leave. And it's just, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the biggest thing is I wish we could convey to everyone, there's no need to be embarrassed about anything. If you have suspicious about one thing or another, talk to somebody about it. I think a lot of times kids will hide something. They feel like they've done something wrong and they'll hide it because they feel like it's wrong. It's okay. Let's talk to somebody before they send you somewhere, before they agree to meet you somewhere.
And usually your parents would be a good place to start.
Absolutely.
Right.
But for anyone who feels for whatever reason that they can't talk to their parents, who's somebody else that they can talk to?
They can absolutely reach out to us.
Right, they can call us. We have a website. We have a number they can call if they feel like they can't talk to a parent or someone close to them. Sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger than somebody that you know. They're welcome to call us, and our number is 256-279-7675. They can call our number, and we can actually get in touch with, give them someone they can get in touch with that can handle their situation or be able to talk to them and assure them that there's help or that, what they need to do from that point.
And if they can't remember that phone number, they can just look online for Women with a
With
Purpose.
purpose.me. Just go online.
.me?
Yes, .me. And we're on Facebook and we're on Instagram, and that's WWAP. That's WWAP Anniston on Instagram and Facebook, so they can reach us either one of those resources.
All right, we need to take a quick break, and we're going to talk some more about this event and how we can protect our young ladies when we come back here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
And welcome to the second half of our lineup. First up this half, James Ball. Mr. Ball, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for failure to appear on use and possession of drug paraphernalia. And this is DeMarcus Byers. Mr. Byers, last known to be living in Oxford, he's wanted on a probation revocation for domestic violence third assault and resisting arrest. And we'd like you to meet Sanisha Embry. Miss Embry, last known to be living in Pell City, she's wanted for failure to appear on theft of property third and use and possession of drug paraphernalia. And meet Charles Everett. Mr. Everett, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for failure to appear on possession of a controlled substance and use and possession of drug paraphernalia. And this is Isaac Perry. Mr. Perry, last known to be living in Jacksonville, he's wanted for distribution of a controlled substance. And last up in our lineup this week, John Graham. Mr. Graham, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted on a probation violation for possession of a controlled substance. And that's it for our lineup this week. If you know the whereabouts of these folks, please give Crime Stoppers a call. That number, 256-238-1414.
We'll talk about some unsolved crimes here in a few minutes. Hopefully you can help us solve those. But right now, we're talking about women with a purpose, and the purpose of all women apparently is not to make men miserable, as I used to think it was. We do appreciate Crystal and Regina being on the show with us here today. We've been talking a little bit about your event that's coming up, and we'll mention that again here before we wrap up. But tell us right now about the organization, Women with a Purpose. What is your purpose, and who can be a part of fulfilling it?
We started about 5 years ago, and we partnered with other organizations with things that we have in common with, but this year we decided to start stepping out and doing things to make the community more aware of some of the things that are going on. And we started, like I said, 5 years ago. A bunch of women got together, several of them, and we decided, okay, we want to make a difference in the community. And the question we asked, what's going to become our young people, and especially our young women? And what we want to do is be able to get young women and talk to them and help them make good, positive decisions and let them know the opportunities that are out there as far as education. Women with Purpose, we offer a scholarship. Our scholarship is a little bit different. It's non-traditional. We offer it to a young lady that wants to go to vocational or technical school or community college. Excellent. So we raise money every year to go into that, to be able to give that out every year. You just go online, and that's to womenwithapurpose.me, and the application now open. So you've got till February to go in and apply. Simple application process. So just go in and apply and see, can you get some extra money to go to school.
I got a high school senior in my house right now. Unfortunately, not a female, but we know the value of scholarships.
Yes,
We're
yes.
definitely
Every
seeing
penny
how important
counts.
they are.
Yes,
Well, that's
it
very
is.
exciting because, with our employment level, unemployment as low as it is, the demand for trades, the trade skills is really high.
Yeah.
And so that's very forward thinking.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, because what we realize, a lot of kids can't go to college because of family reason because they need to get a job soon as possible and go to work or take care of their family. So we just want to do something just a little bit different.
Well, there's many more jobs available if you just get one of these skills, and they generally pay very, very well.
Yes, they do.
And we need to be encouraging young people to do that, especially young women. And, well, everybody really needs to go
Right.
do that because there's a huge demand.
So,
Really.
folks that are watching and saying, you know, I like what these ladies are doing, I want to be a part of it, how can they get involved?
Again, all you have to do is go to our website. You can apply, submit a form that you're interested, that you want to be a part of Women with a Purpose. We are a nonprofit organization, 501c3. So there's no fees to join or anything like that. You can be a volunteer, you can be a member. A volunteer is usually just someone that just want to participate in activities. The members are involved in organizing and putting things together, like the Light Summit. So, but you just go on our website or just go reach out on Facebook or Instagram to us, and we'll get back in touch with you.
All right, we got just a minute left. Let's circle back to the Light Summit and make sure everybody knows when and what that is.
Okay, again, the Light Summit is on October the 20th at Oxford Civic Center. It would be from 10 to 2, free admission. Just go on our website, that's all we ask, and register so we can know how many people we'll have there. We will be talking about cyberbullying. We will be talking about bullying as well as domestic violence. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well, but we also will be talking about sex trafficking on Saturday. So a lot of good information will be there.
Exciting.
And you'll be part of that from the cyberbullying.
Briefly, yeah, I'll be talking about cyberbullying, a poster of you in front of a computer.
Ladies, thank you very much. I hope the
Thank
summit goes
you.
wonderfully.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
All right. So we will take another quick break, and then John and I will be back. We'll have the Crime Stopper segment of the show and our Crazy Criminal of the Week on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
And welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of our show, where we ask your help for our investigators. Here's your caseload this week. On September 29th, this vehicle was broke into at a residence on Airport Road in Oxford. They got away with a wallet and some other contents. And between September 12th and September 13th, a burglary occurred at this residence on Nature Trail in Jacksonville. Numerous power tools were stolen from that location. And on October 1st, a white Honda Odyssey was broken into at a location near Highway 431 and Duke Road in Wellington. And sometime between September 22nd and October 1st, a Simmons pressure washer was stolen from a residence on Avalon Lane in Anniston. Sometime between September 28th and September 30th, this camper was broken into at a residence on Jones Road. Damage was done to the camper, but nothing was reported stolen at this time. And between August 25th and September 1st, a storage unit was broken into. They got away with a crossbow, tree stand, and a microwave oven. And last up on your caseload, on October 4th, the residence was burglarized on New Liberty Road in Wellington. A Makita cordless drill, Skill belt sander, Cobalt air compressor, PlayStation 3, diver's knife, DVD player, and a sword were taken from that location. And that's your Crime Stoppers caseload for the week. If you have any information on these cases, please give us a call at Crime Stoppers. That number, 238-1414. Remember, we want your information and not your name.
All right, so it's time for our Crazy Criminal of the Week, John. And today we've got an individual.
It must not be recorded.
Uh-oh, not again.
Okay, the intro. I thought when you said we don't have any graphics, that's what you were talking about since it didn't show up. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Five, four, three.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
All right, Dustin Burns is our Crazy Criminal this week, John. And Dustin was already a criminal, but now he becomes our Crazy Criminal by how he handled his punishment. You know, some people are let out into the public, but they have to wear an ankle monitor.
Right, GPS ankle bracelet, yep.
Yeah, so they know, where they can and can't go and that kind of thing. And Dustin decided that it would be a good idea to take his ankle monitor off.
Good. Yeah.
And he was so proud of how he was able to do that he posted a Facebook video showing everybody how he did it.
Lovely.
You guys don't use Facebook at the sheriff's office, do you? Occasionally.
Occasionally we have.
It's not
a little
only
Facebook
for
around.
posting things.
It's not only
Sometimes
for
it's for
posting.
looking at things.
That's correct. That's correct. And most of those ankle bracelets, of course, he was probably very proud he got around some of the safety features, but you really, it's hard to cut those off and not have it send a signal.
Yeah.
They're pretty advanced right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Nothing's quite foolproof, but there's quite often the case where somebody thinks they've gotten away with something and they haven't really gotten away with something.
No. They usually forget they have them on, and they just go do stuff.
It's amazing what people will do while they're wearing those, isn't it?
It is amazing. It's interesting.
Well, you actually check?
I wasn't there.
All right. Well, that's all the time that we've got for this week. We'll be looking for you again next week, but hopefully not in the lineup or taking off your ankle monitor on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Hooty hoo.